Welcome back to the Webby O'Neill channel, and today we're going to look at Erik ten Hag's focus on building competition for places at Manchester United after that 7-0 thrashing of Barnsley. Also, we're going to take a discussion as well. Should the front three stay the same for the game at Crystal Palace on the weekend, or should Joshua Zirkzee come back in? Get involved in today's chat, Reds, and don't forget to smash that like button to help support the channel. Now, I know the birthday boy definitely had a good sleep last night.
Fantastic sleep. If you can't have a fantastic sleep after a 7-0, then there's something seriously wrong. But first of all, I'd like to thank everyone for all the birthday wishes they sent. Did we learn anything yesterday from United's game, 7-0 thrashing? I don't think we really learned that much. But what it is, I think United get the confidence, get a win under the belt, and they've done the job. So going forward, 2 wins in a row, I think it does everyone the world of good, and it's certainly done me the world of good last night.
Yeah, trying to build some momentum as well in the squad, some confidence, like you say, especially in front of goal. But Erik ten Hag wasn't too overhyped with the win last night, and he did say, I wasn't devastated after the Liverpool game, but I'm not celebrating after Barnsley. So he's keeping level-headed, his feet on the floor, because he clearly knows there's still lots of work to do.
He's got to stay level-headed, but I don't understand the... I wasn't too upset after the Liverpool. I might have to have a word with him, but I was devastated after it. No, stay level-headed. That's the thing. They've done the job. First division side come. Sometimes it can be tricky, but they went out there. They've done the job. They run riot as far as I'm concerned. They scored the goals and they continued. And it's a good sign seeing Eriksen continue 90 minutes and getting 2 goals at the end. So it's all positive going. The question is, who's he play on Saturday against QPR? That's the question, Kieran.
Well, we had a chat before the game, didn't we, about the starting 11, and I was saying to you that I'd like to see Anthony start this game. But for you, did you see anything different from what you've already previously seen for Anthony, where you think, well, he could be challenging for the starting spot against Palace?
I can't see him. I can't see him challenging for the spot. Not yet. I mean, you've got Amad there. You've got Garnacho in front of him. If you look at his performance last night, I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, he scored his pen. He celebrated it. But a lot of the time, you know, tell me if I'm wrong, but I thought he was on his backside a lot of the time. I didn't think he had a great game. He got into the game, but did he commit too much? Did he do too much? No, he didn't. I thought he had a poor game, really, from the standards of a Premier League footballer playing a First Division side. He got the time on the pitch. That'll do him the world of good. But he, as far as I'm concerned, he's a long, long way from starting in the first 11 for Man United. He has got some work to do.
Yeah, great penalty though. Dispatched that really comfortably, especially with the goalkeeper going the right way. Had to get it perfect as well. So, yeah, hopefully he can build on that. Let us know your thoughts on Anthony's performance against Barnsley. And do you expect him to be in the competition for a start? Well, a competition for the place against Palace on the weekend. Derek says, Erik ten Hag has some serious decision-making. Rashford and Garnacho were really looking for each other. I know it's easy to get carried away so early, but it really feels like this team is finally finding some form.
Yeah, listen, it's got momentum. That's what I'll say. Form, you know, is it temporary? You know, that's the big buzzword in football, temporary. You know, is it temporary? I don't think so. I think they've got something building. If you look at the players, what are coming back, there's a few injuries, they'll be back. So in a couple of weeks, we could have a really fight. Well, players could have a fight on their hand to get in the team. When you talk about Zirkzee, for me, Zirkzee's in the team. Webby last night mentioned that he'd want Rashford as the centre forward.
I was having a chat with Webby before he went on camera with you, and I was like, that's a big, big statement, that, Webby. You know, for you wanting Rashford to keep his place as the actual number 9 striker for the weekend against Palace instead of Zirkzee coming in. But I think Webby's point of view was, well, why drop him from that position when he's scored the goals and performed like he did last night?
I can understand Webby's point of view because of like scoring the goals he scored at Southampton, needs a bit more freedom to express himself. But when you look at Rashford himself has stated he doesn't want the number 9 position. And when you look at Rashford in his best form, how he wants to play football, he wants the space and he gets the space outside. It's just a disappointing for quite a while now with Rashford, what he's actually done with the ball when he's got space. But that's Rashford's preferred position. So you don't go and buy 2 centre forwards in Højlund and Zirkzee and then start experimenting putting Rashford there when a player clearly doesn't want to play there. Rashford's best position and his best form is when he's out wide and he's going at the defenders, and it's up to Rashford to carry on doing that and getting the space. But number 9, not for me. Zirkzee's there. That's what they want. And I think the coaching side and the people what are in there are looking at Zirkzee to kick on. And yes, they rested him last night, brought him on, run around, done the business. He is going to be the number 9. He's there with Højlund fighting for that position. He runs around. He wants the ball. He links the ball. He links up play. He's excellent as far as I'm concerned. What I've seen of him, and I just hope it continues.
Do you think
Rashford 9 is not for me.
So do you think last night before the game, the chat between the manager, the coaching staff was to put Rashford as the 9 to get on the score sheet and build confidence and momentum from that Southampton game where he did grab a goal then?
I think what they did with Rashford, they put in the number 9 to play him right up there, whereas Zirkzee, you've not seen that. So there is a difference in tactics. And I think Erik ten Hag and the coaching staff thought to themselves, right, this is Barnsley. Let's go at them. Let's get someone on the shoulder with a bit of pace. And they chose Rashford just for that one-off game. And I think it was a one-off game. It was a first division side, and really Rashford should be up there and getting the goals, and he did. And then they gave him the rest. I think it was the right decision. And then Zirkzee come on and just got his run out.
The thing is, we was talking about partnerships on one of the videos. I think it was last week, and partnerships, especially like with Luke Shaw and Rashford in the past, and how important it is for throughout the team to build them partnerships, as a unit as well. But I do believe that Rashford and Zirkzee, they could build something, I think, that could be a key weapon going forward into the season, where Rashford can find some form, goal-scoring form as well, with his link-up play off Zirkzee, because he's not really had that, I don't think, Rashford. He didn't have it last season. I'm not slating Højlund by any means here with the link-up play, because he's a very good striker in his own right, but Zirkzee gives you something different in terms of link-up play. Rashford always likes to play them 1-2s, maybe slow the game down a bit too much sometimes, but when he does slow it down, if he's playing with Zirkzee can find him, because he's that type of footballer.
Yeah, I think what it is,
he can run onto it, get in behind the...
Yeah. I think what it is with Zirkzee, he wants the link-up play and he gives the ball, but what he wants it back as quickly as possible and then to get forward. So with Rashford, he seems to bring Rashford into the game more, and Rashford does look for him, and you've seen that in the couple of games they've linked up. I like that partnership, and I just hope it continues. Whether it'll be a success, it's fingers crossed, we'll see in the future. But Zirkzee, what he does, he brings the wingers into the game.
It, yeah.
And what it is, we've seen the wingers over the last 12 months actually not connecting with the centre forward. And you look at Højlund, there's been lots of criticism. Højlund's not been getting the ball from the wingers, but Zirkzee is a different type of player, and I think he is helping Rashford in the game, and he will also help Amad on the right wing, and if Anthony's there, he'll help him as well.
Yeah, London says it'll be interesting next few games regarding the selection. Joe says Palace will be a different game. That was a good confidence builder. We need 2 teams beatable to rotate. Ten Hag needs to do that.
Yeah, well, rotation. You've seen the rotation yesterday. Mainoo, for instance, didn't even have him on the pitch at any stage, and that's what you have. You rotate your players. We all know Mainoo has needed a break. He's played lots of football. He got that the benefit of rotation yesterday, and then you change it up as well. And yesterday, for instance, the game, players were changed up. Some people probably weren't too comfortable in the positions they were played, but they gave him game time. Collier, for instance, I don't think he was too comfortable in his position, but he got the game time, and that's what it's about, really.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just laughing at a couple of comments in the chat. I'm not going to read them out, but there's some banter going on in there. Sasquatch says, happy birthday to your dad. I'm not impressed with Rashford. This was Barnsley, not Liverpool, City or Arsenal. I do get his point.
Yeah.
It's a bit too soon to get carried away, but at least we've seen some improvement, some signs there that he can actually build on his performances.
Yeah, listen, let's not go overboard. I'm not going overboard. We know what we've got there. We've got 2 wins under our belt, and all it is a confidence builder. What we can't have is going into Saturday's game at Crystal Palace and then going back to where we was after another defeat. Stop, start. We have to take that forward. And this is one of the reasons why I want Zirkzee in it. There is going to be a lot of possession. We need a lot of possession. Crystal Palace, for instance, are a solid side. They've got better over the last 12, 18 months, and it will be a tough proposition. And I think, if you had Rashford as a centre-forward there, he would be crowded out. That's no good for Rashford. So that debate, as far as I'm concerned, is clear-cut. Zirkzee, Rashford always stays out wide. He wants the space. I look at Anthony there. I don't see him coming back. I don't think Erik ten Hag sees him coming back. I think he's got a lot of work to do, and Erik ten Hag was talking about him last night. So with Zirkzee and Anthony, that partnership won't build. It's Zirkzee and Amad. Amad is the one who is growing. He's growing into the game. He's getting better week in, week out. Even if we get a defeat, you can still see with Amad, he's the man, because he is dangerous. When he runs at people, that's the danger. And links up well. Yeah. That's the good thing.
He's got a proper football brain, Amad. I love that about the kid, to be fair. You talk about Anthony and partnerships. One that I'm looking to see at some point through the season, because I do think it'll happen, where Anthony does start, Mazraoui starts as well on that right-hand side, to see what sort of partnership can be created there. See if it can do Anthony any good as well, with him playing at Ajax together, where they played roughly 47 times. But Agati started last night. What did you make of him? Took a tough one as well, didn't he? And one of the tackles, I had my head in my hands thinking, oh no, not another one.
He absolutely took a smacker.
Yeah.
Right. And I
thought the stretcher was coming out.
Yeah,
and everything.
I did. I thought Ugarte sort of grew into the game, got better as the game went on, and then took a massive hit, but sort of like shrugged it off as if saying, what's going on here? Yeah. This is out of order. But he was in there. He was just calm, just played the game as you want him to play. And I just think to myself, there's a player there, and he's going to be a good introduction to this team and improve it.
Yeah, just to go on to that and keep on Agati, Amir says, Kobbie Mainoo and Manuel Agati, this is the midfield duo Manchester United fans need. Is it what you need? Everyone else out there, you happy with that, Mainoo and Agati in the midfield?
Well, they're talking about Ugarte and Mainoo. That seems to be what everyone wants. What you've got to do is just give Ugarte time. A lot of hype. Is it hype? That's the thing. I've only seen clips of him. I listened to the South American reporter talk about him, and he was like going on and on and on about him as if say, this is the man for Man United.
He was actually likening him to Javier Mascherano.
Yeah,
Is he the same one?
That's the same one. So at the end of the day, I've listened to what he has to say, and all the signs are good. And for an introduction, and it was a nice introduction against the First Division side where the team just wanted to attack, and he got involved in it, and he looked good.
But to be fair, though, we've just talked about competition for places in the front three positions, competition for places as well in the midfield area. Christian Eriksen, over the last couple of games, a lot of people have said he's played really well, so shouldn't he be starting then against Crystal Palace, keeping his place?
No, I don't think Eriksen should keep his place. Eriksen's a squad player now. That's clear to me. I don't know what people out there think, but it's clear to me. And if you look at the two games Eriksen's played in, and he's played well in the two games, it's Southampton. That was a poor side, okay? Once they'd missed that penalty, the energy went out of him. United just run riot and just run rings round him, to be honest. And Eriksen was part of that. And then if you look at yesterday, Eriksen was part of that. He had plenty of space. Both teams yesterday gave each other space. There wasn't too much pressure on Eriksen to run back, run forward and all that. He played a game of football, which he's very good at if you give him space. And I think the two sides he's played against, they're not the best sides. So Eriksen, for me, good displays, but on the bench.
Yeah, some man for one man says, I can see Mainoo getting dropped/rested to accommodate Zirkzee with Højlund. Different angle to look at it as well. Different change of tactics and formation that would be then to get them both in the team. But definitely give you confidence that they could bring goals to the actual team as well if them two started together, surely.
I don't know. I've just got to see with Mainoo. Mainoo's still got a lot of work to do, and I have been consistently saying since Mainoo got into this team that there is some work to be done on his game. I think running back, getting caught with the ball high up. Actually, is bad for United. The counter-attack seems to come when we lose the ball up front, and Mainu has lost that. Now, rotation, that's the thing for him. Rest for him, and that will go on through the squad. It's a big squad, and players coming back. But Mainu, for me, is a great player as far as I'm concerned, but there's more to come from him, and he's got to learn more. But it's the right time for Mainu to get the break. There was no need for him to play against Barnsley.
You'd hope, though, Agati would bring some sort of stability, though, into that midfield, especially in defence as well. So Mainu won't be always in the back of his mind worrying about having to defend, get back, chase back, where he can concentrate more going forward and creating things. Yeah,
well, listen, Ugati's there to sit. Is a warrior. That's how he's been described to me. Pitbull. Gets in with the tackles, but can give a good pass out. Won't take no messing. But Mainu will be more freer. I think that's what United are hoping for, to free Mainu up. And if he does get caught and not getting back as quick, I think United are sort of looking at that as if to say, well, Ugati's there. That Pitbull, he's there to cover Mainu. Whereas Casemiro doesn't actually able to, when he loses the ball and Mainu loses the ball, they're both stranded, and I don't see that coming with Ugati. I think Ugati will sweep them up.
Yeah, like I say, not getting too carried away, going overboard with the last couple of wins that we have faced, because he's such... Well, there's a lot more tougher tests to come. I think in the Premier League we've got, is it Crystal Palace, Tottenham, and then is it Aston Villa away? I think it is. So, you're looking at that Tottenham game in particular, Aston Villa in particular, to make sure we get the 3 points. If we do against them, well, we should be looking at, not getting too carried away, but looking at them top 4 places and thinking, that's definitely achievable, surely, with the squad that he's got.
Well, I talked about momentum. If we go into these 3 games and win these 3 games, the whole world looks completely different as far as I'm concerned.
How does it look? Tell me. How's it looking? Is it looking a lot brighter?
Well, listen, it looks like you're getting a box of chocolates every day, so you've got a big smile on your face. And I'd have a big smile on my face because I love chocolates. But going into them 3 games before the international break in the league, I tell you what, everyone will just be looking at United and going, what's going on here? And players will be back. Do I expect that? No, I don't, because these are 3 tough games.
The thing I'm looking for with United, you've got to look at that Southampton game. We started poorly. Didn't start great. We can't do the same against Crystal Palace on the weekend, because we can't take these 2 lightly when you look at our performances and our 2 results against them last season.
No,
we need to start bright on the front foot. That's what I'm looking for in this game.
We do need to start brightly. And I've looked and I've gone back and I have mentioned, I looked at the Southampton game again, and I think the preparations for the game actually hindered United. They didn't have much time together. Players were all over the world, come back, had a day, had to travel to Southampton. So I think that can be put down to that poor start. And once they realised they were in a fight because they got the pen, United just upped the game and took it to him. You've just got to hope that players are on fire.
Anyone got any news out there on Luke Shaw? Last heard from Erik Ten Hag is that he's progressing well. I think the words he used, but
I'm confused with Luke Shaw. Absolutely confused.
It's the only
with Luke
position
Shaw
at the moment where you're just a little bit like worried, thinking just only if we had like a natural left foot or who could play that side and fill in. Yeah,
but it's Erik Ten Hag's words. What he's saying about him, he wants him back, but he can't give a date or anything like that. That is unusual. And if you look at Luke Shaw, there he was all summer training with England, trying to get in the team, and then ends up playing the final of the Euros against Spain, goes on 3 weeks holiday, comes back, and he has a photo on the training pitch, and then you don't see him again. Now, what's he done? What is his injury? I don't understand it, and Erik Ten Hag isn't giving us any clues of what's going on here. And you've got to remember, Luke Shaw's not played for United since February. Now, that is ridiculous, for not even bringing in a left full-back over the summer, realising that Luke Shaw's, with his injury list and that, since February, there is big problem. You talked before about players getting teamwork together, like Rashford and Shaw, and you mentioned Anthony and Mazraoui. Well, listen, there is no way Marcus Rashford is getting a partnership with Luke Shaw, because we don't know what's going on. And there is clearly a massive problem with Luke Shaw. How can he go on holiday? This is what baffles me about Luke Shaw. And a lot of people do know that I've got a little bit of a downer on Luke Shaw with his commitment and everything to Manchester United, right? And I say to you, what's happened in the 3 weeks when he went on holiday for him to come back? He was in a final of the Euros against Spain, and he's come back, took 10 steps on the training pitch, and now he's out with some undiagnosed illness, injury, right? What the manager will not explain what's going on. The big problem here, and the big problem is, we should have got a left full-back, and Webby was going on about we should have had a left-back. We brought one in part-time in Regulion. Where is the left-back? So there's something wrong. And I have said, going forward, that could be our Achilles heel in the momentum going forward, not having the right full-back playing in its position, and we've not got one.
I did actually see pictures of Malacia last night at the game against Barnsley. Last month, I remember Ten Hag, I think it was, said that he would be looking at a return date in October. So we could even see Malacia return before Luke Shaw, possibly.
No, I think he was returning to the training ground. I'm not too sure, but I think Malacia is further beyond. I don't see him this side of Christmas, but I might be wrong. You can let me know, Kieran. You might be right there, but I don't see Malacia being the answer to our problems at this moment. You know, you've got a player what's been out 16 months of football. Yeah. He's not going to be starting for Man United this side of Christmas. Okay, he is not the answer. There's a big problem here. We should have got a left full-back. So that's one criticism. You know, there's always room for criticism, especially like now I'm 66. I'm officially an OAP. So you're going to hear lots of more mumbling and groaning from an OAP. But that left full-back, for me, Luke Shaw, February, plays in the Euro final, and then we don't see him. I'm absolutely baffled with it.
Well, I might have to keep an eye on you, ring you back in, wind you back in.
Grumpy old man.
Yeah,
I think that's what you might have to start calling me at some point. Grumpy old man at 66.
Might need your help out there to do that as well. But I'm looking at the centre-back position, especially from last season. I'm a lot more confident seeing De Ligt over the last couple of games and Martinez as well. And I think they can form a real good partnership.
I think what you've got to do, you've got to take the 2 games and look at them, and the confidence is there, and players will start getting used to each other. I mean, it's a big turnover of players what we've had bringing into the squad, and we've also got like Manu, young lad, Garnacho, you've got Amad there. So new squad, players getting used to each other, young players already in there. So I've always said it's going to take time, this, and there will be ups and downs and that, but the confidence is there, and looking from the outside, you sort of say to yourself, these players want it, and the players what have been brought in haven't come here shouting and screaming about money. They come here because they want to play for Man United. So the confidence is there, but now and again we will get the odd knock. I just hope that the momentum is there for the next 3 Premier League games, and that's what you want to see. These 2 games, building confidence, and that's the good thing about it.
What do you think about Mazraoui up to now with what you've seen with him?
I've not seen him excel. I've just seen him plod on, do a good job. That's it. Has he done more than Wan-Bissaka, what he was brought in to do? I don't think so. We've not seen, in my opinion, I've not seen him going down the wing, going behind full-backs and crossing the ball. I've not seen too much of that. I want to see more of that, but it's early days, and I'm not criticising him. It's early days. He's got to get used to game time. He's got to get used to the Premier League, and so fingers crossed, he improves. And I think they all will improve. They all will improve. I think the coaches and Ten Hag, the way they're bouncing about and where you see them on the sideline and the way they're talking, you can see there's a difference in the back room, that they're all working together.
Do you know something I've noticed this season, even from pre-season, is Ruud van Nistelrooy comes into the technical area speaking to Erik Ten Hag for lengthy periods, where I never really used to see that with Van der Gaag and Erik Ten Hag, or even Steve McLaren. I remember seeing it once with Steve McLaren, and that was the FA Cup final against City. Well, apart from that, I never used to see it.
Well, there's a difference. They're all involved. They've all been brought in to be involved, to share the burden. And I mentioned it to you the other week that I seen that Ruud van Nistelrooy giving it Erik Ten Hag, going at him. And Erik Ten Hag responding. He was telling Erik Ten Hag, did you see that? Did you see that? That's what you want. We've not seen that. We've not seen that. So it all looks good. in the background. Now, let's hope it doesn't fade away. But they're all working together, and it looks as though everyone's in it together. But they all understand this squad. If you aren't performing, you ain't getting in this team. And I go back to Anthony. He knows that, and I don't think yesterday's performance has actually helped him gain any points, any kudos, to be honest with you.
I've mentioned about Onana in recent weeks. I think he needs a huge... Well, it needs to be a huge season for him at Manchester United this season. Correct a lot of mistakes that he did make personally, individually, last season. And that penalty save against Southampton would have done him the world of good. Now, going into this Palace game as well, you expect him to build on that, any shots faced at him.
Yeah, you look at the game at Southampton, everything he did, his handling, his movement, his positioning, I thought was really good. And obviously the penalty save will improve him. But it is a big season for him. And being a goalkeeper, he has to do it the second season, because you can't waste time. You can't say, oh, let's give him another year. You can't do that. If you want to win games, you want to compete, winning the league, getting in cups and everything else like that, your goalkeeper has to be solid. So it's a huge week and a very, very tough test going into Saturday's game for him. But, watching from the sidelines yesterday, I think would have done him the world of good.
Just like to thank you all for joining in today. As Justin says, hit the like button. So I appreciate if everyone hit the like button.
Thank you.
Continue that positivity over the last couple of games for Manchester United. Going into the Palace game, please get involved with your own opinions as well in the comment section below. And we'll be back tomorrow with another live video. So hit that notification bell and we'll see you again soon. Much love. Take care, everyone. And see you tomorrow.
Many thanks. Cheers.